Hey everybody, I've been getting some great questions about Google Meet recordings. Where do they go? How do I share them with my class? And I have some answers for you. Now, unfortunately, I think that the system still is a little bit clunky. I'm hoping that Google will update some things and make it a little bit more streamlined. But what I'm going to share with you today is the most efficient way to get these recordings to your students. It's going to require the least amount of work from you, and it will save you probably hours over the course of the school year, and it'll be easier for your students. So I'm going to actually go back to my drive real quickly to show you this. I've mentioned this in a video before, but when you do a Meet recording, when you stop that recording, it's going to automatically go into a folder in your Google Drive called Meet Recordings. And it's okay if you don't have this folder yet. As soon as you do your first recording, that folder will automatically be created in your Google Drive. So you don't have to create it yourself. It all happens automatically. I'm going to open that up, and you'll see this is the downside. This is the one thing I don't like about this. It's just throwing all of the videos together, and they're time-stamped, which is helpful. So I could, if I were a really conscientious student, I could go, okay, here's the date, and it's in this weird format, and okay, it's military time, but I can probably figure out what time my class was. But that's a lot of work for them, and most students aren't going to go to the trouble. So what I recommend is I recommend creating subfolders for each of your classes. I'm just going to do that for one for now, and you can do that by right-clicking and going to New Folder, just right-clicking in the negative space here, or you can go to New up here and click Folder. And I'm going to create a folder called TOK. That stands for Theory of Knowledge. That's one of the classes that I'm teaching. So I'll create a folder, and I'm going to actually do this with all of my classes, but for now I'm just illustrating with TOK. And let's say this video belongs to that class, TOK. So I can just drag it in there. And now what I have is I have a folder specifically for TOK that I can then share with that class, and it will update live. So I'll illustrate that in a minute. But that's the one thing that you're going to have to do after every recording is you're going to have to get it from this big general area, and you're going to have to drop it into the appropriate class. There's no way, right now, there's no way around doing something every time unless you want to share this folder with all of your classes and they just have to mine for the correct video. I don't recommend that. I think students aren't going to do that, most students. But if you have it by class, it'll be a lot easier for them to find things. And by default, it's going to organize to the last modified. So the most recent video is going to be at the top, which is very intuitive for students and will lead to them finding those videos easily. So anyway, we now have a subfolder for TOK, and I'm just going to share this folder with that class. So I can do that by clicking right here to get the link when it's highlighted, or I can right-click on it. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to say Get Shareable Link. So we have our link here. Right now it's set so that only people added can open with the link. I want to change that, and I'm going to say Thompson School District. That way any student can get to it. They don't have to be on a list here. Then I'll copy the link. And then I'm going to go to Google Classroom where I've pulled up this class, and I'm going to go to the Classwork tab, Create, and I'm going to list this as a material. I'm going to call it Google Meet Recordings. You can add a description if you want to say something like the most recent video should be at the top or whatever. I can add a topic if I want, but the most important thing is I'm going to add the link that I just copied, and then you'll see it links to that folder. I'm not going to post this because I don't want my students to see that random test video that I made, but that's really all there is to it. You post it, and then it'll stay on your classwork page as a material, and anytime students miss class, they want to access those recordings for whatever reason, they can go to that folder, and because it's a Google Drive folder, it will automatically update. Every day after you finish your recordings, you just have to remember to drag that video into the folder so that it's there, and even if I do this, I don't know why that didn't work, try it again. There we go. So even if I do this after, like I just shared the link, even if I do it afterward, it doesn't matter because the link takes them here and it's a live link, so it will update automatically. All right, don't forget to move those videos, but I hope that's a helpful tip and will save you lots of time. Please feel free to add any other tricks in the comments or any questions that you have, and good luck.